Okay, former President Donald Trump has some crazy news that you gotta hear. He proposes new freedom cities and, well, some other big news that I'll share with you guys in this video. Yeah, so let's jump right in. And if you appreciate these videos, don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, so remember here that former President Donald Trump is the front runner for the next Republican candidate for president, which is next year. So it's pretty quickly approaching here. So by far and away, he's the front runner for Republican candidate. The next best or next closest Republican candidate would be Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Also, President Biden is expected to formally announce his presidential candidacy here as well. And there's also nobody really expected to be as high on the presidential rankings for Democrat here either as well. So largely, we're most likely going to see another presidential rematch here of Trump versus Biden. Yeah. So, yeah, I always get some comments to see people say, "Well, he's the former president; it doesn't matter." But he's the number one candidacy for the Republican Party. So, take a listen to what he says, and let me know your thoughts here on this.
Past generations of Americans pursued big dreams and daring projects that once seemed absolutely impossible. They pushed across an unsettled continent and built new cities in the wild frontier. They transformed American life with the interstate highway system. Magnificent it was. And they launched a vast network of satellites into orbit all around the Earth. But today, our country has lost its boldness. Under my leadership, we will get it back in a very big way. If you look at just 3 years ago, what we were doing was unthinkable. How good it was, how great it was for our country. Our objective will be a quantum leap in the American standard of living. That's what will happen. Here are just a few of the ways we can do it. Almost 1/3 of the land mass of the United States is owned by the federal government, with just a very, very small portion of that land, just a fraction, 1/2 of 1%. Would you believe that? We should hold a contest to charter up to 10 new cities and award them to the best proposals for development. In other words, we'll actually build new cities in our country again. These freedom cities will reopen the frontier, reignite American imagination, and give hundreds of thousands of young people and other people, all hardworking families, a new shot at home ownership and, in fact, the American dream. Another big opportunity is in transportation. Dozens of major companies in the United States and China are racing to develop vertical takeoff and landing vehicles for families and individuals. Just as the United States led the automotive revolution in the last century, I want to ensure that America, not China, leads this revolution in air mobility. These breakthroughs can transform commerce, bring a giant infusion of wealth into rural America, and connect families and our country in new ways. Likewise, through our Strategic National Manufacturing Initiative, which is going to be very big and very, very successful, we will turn forgotten communities into hives of industry, producing the goods we will no longer import from China. We will also have a major initiative on lowering the cost of living with a special focus on lowering the cost of a new car and lowering the cost to build a single-family home. And they will be beautiful homes. And I will ask Congress to support baby bonuses for young parents to help launch a new baby boom. Finally, I'll challenge the governors of all 50 states to join me in a great modernization and beautification campaign, getting rid of ugly buildings, refurbishing our parks and our public spaces, making cities and towns more livable, ensuring a pristine environment, and building towering monuments to our true American heroes. Very importantly, I will also make sure all of these new places are safe.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on the freedom cities? Yeah, did you know that the federal government owns almost 1/3 of all the United States? That's a lot of land. That's crazy. Can you imagine building entire new cities here in the United States of land that would just come from the federal government? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Also, the baby bonuses here is an interesting thought. It's kind of reminds me of the child tax credits, which right now none of the Republicans will vote for. And remember, the Democrats actually raised the child tax credits here with the one of the last packages, and no Republicans would vote for it. And that raised the child tax credits from $2,000 to $3,000 and $3,600, depending on the age of your child. But no Republicans would vote for it. So, and now, and remember that took millions of children out of poverty with the monthly checks, paying it out in monthly distributions would help out with food and stuff like that. And also remember that food stamps and SNAP benefits have just been cut here as well. So it's kind of a double ding that has now gone away. But it was former President Donald Trump that and his daughter Ivanka Trump that helped. She helped to kind of get the ball rolling, get the support for it, and former President Donald Trump signed the bill and got it going here to raise the child tax credits up to the $2,000 limit, which is actually what it goes back down to now. But it's actually all not refundable here. But that's what it goes back down to now. But it's not the $3,000 or $3,600, which would be obviously more. Yeah, so do you think that former President Donald Trump could get them to raise it back up to 3,000 to 3,600 with these or baby bonuses, which would be interesting? But remember that no Republicans right now will vote for child tax credits. Yeah, so interesting thought there. And you got to remember that all these are interesting thoughts, but you got to have a Congress that would vote for it. And this is the problem that Biden's having right now, is that you can talk about this kind of stuff, but you got to get Republicans to vote for it. Yeah, and that's kind of kind of the trouble here with Congress, is that getting Republicans and Democrats to come together and vote on anything is the problem. And this is also the problem they're going to have here with Social Security, fixing Social Security and Medicare. Medicare Trust Fund going to be running out of money here. I'll actually have a video here coming for you up here later today about that. They're coming up with solutions to try to fix it or save it, because the Congressional Budget Office report says that Social Security and Medicare Trust Fund could start to run out of money in as early as 9 years by 2032. Yeah. So this is a problem, and they're going to have to make changes to the Social Security and Medicare Trust Fund. They can't just leave it alone, or else it'll run out of money. Yeah. So, and they've known about this for decades, and the only change they've really made is years ago they raised the retirement age, and that helped a little bit, but not enough. Yeah, and I'll explain why. The Social Security benefits that you pay in, you can't just get that back, because yeah, that's not it would never be enough money for you to live on. Yeah, so we're kind of in a pickle here with a lot of different things, and now SNAP benefits, food benefits have been cut, the child tax credits have been cut, and inflation is still very, very high. The cost of food here is at an all-time high. So it's really, really a tough time here for a lot of Americans. About 2/3 of all Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And interest rates sky high now. They're at the highest that they've been at probably in decades. I don't know the exact amount of years. And it's just really tough for a lot of Americans. So what do we do? What do we do? And the question here is, can a president or can Congress do anything to really get us out of this? Because if you put a Republican president in there or a Democratic president in there, they're always kind of limited by Congress, because you always have, one side of the aisle, the other side of the aisle doesn't want to vote for stuff. And then you really have Congress is still kind of limited of what they can really do for you anyways, right? I mean, they had the enhanced child tax credits, which only helped out some people, and it was only for 1 year, and then the Republicans didn't want to vote for it. And then now you have the Supreme Court kind of working on the $10,000 to $20,000 in student loan forgiveness, which would actually be the biggest kind of benefit for the people that it would help ever. I mean, if you ever got a $10 or $20,000 like that, for those people would be a godsend. But then for the other people who don't get it, people just complain about it. Why didn't I get anything? You know, and we think about the past three stimulus checks; those were really a lot of help for a lot of people. You think about, prior to that, there were some small stimulus checks previously before that, and we've had some states do some here as well. A lot of states actually, or tax refund. They all had kind of different names here. Um, but before these last couple of years, there was really nothing like that. So we've actually kind of seen a bunch of different stuff here like that. The enhanced SNAP benefits that went on for several years. Um, but the question is, what will we see going forward? What will we see going forward here? Yeah, so saving Social Security and Medicare trust fund have to be a big one because that's a problem, and there's so much political turmoil over it. Like, because nobody wants to lose their benefits, so they have to fix it or save it without pissing people off. Yeah. So I got a good video coming up here for you guys here in the next video, and I'll show you guys. It's a good video. You won't want to miss. I'll show you guys how it works, and you'll be surprised. So, thank you so much for liking these videos if you haven't yet, and don't forget to subscribe as well because it's completely free. Click the bell icon after you do, so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's some videos you can watch next. Here is a video I just did on Social Security, Medicare, and some really good news for millions of Americans. That's a good one. And here is a threat that Russia just gave to the United States. Yeah, so click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.